everybody. Welcome back to With Audacity, the podcast where we always educate, uplift, and promote, doing everything unapologetically and with audacity. And of course, I'm Lawyer Jazz, and we've got Dr. Jazz and Dr. Kara, and we are joined by a very special guest this episode, Dejarvis Leonard. And this is another financial episode. We're talking all about finances, getting your money together legally, of course. Big baller stuff, big baller energy. But before we get started, we are going to let Dejarvis introduce himself, tell us why he's a big baller, tell us how we can become big ballers and all that. And then we're going to dive in with the check-in question. So Dejarvis, please introduce yourself.
No doubt, no doubt. So my name is Dejarvis Leonard. I hail from Alabama. So I've been in the financial industry as about 9 years now. And I approach my clients and business owners through holistic life planning. So really trying to find the intersection between purpose, the lifestyle they want to live, in their finances, so that, everyone can have a fulfilled life. We don't want to just be out here, zombies walking through life doing what we have to do, but do what we want to do as quickly as possible.
Amen.
That is beautiful.
Snap.
Okay, hit them hard with it right when we get started. Thank you
Big
so
baller.
much. And on that note, when you're saying how we live in life, I want to just check in and see. It's not gonna be too deep, okay?
Just the job is get ready, okay?
Okay.
Just want to see, living life and not doing the same thing. That seems like you're insane, right? But what's the last new thing you tried, and how do you feel about it?
The last new thing I tried and how I feel about it. So I think I know in the African American community, mental health is something that is, really kind of a stigma. But I actually started going to therapy for the first time, and I really enjoy it. It makes me more productive with my clients. I'm able to communicate better. I'm a better father and a better husband. So yeah.
A round of applause to this
man.
Oh,
I love that. We love that. I love it.
Oh my God.
We're having vulnerable moments with Audacity.
I know. See, didn't I tell you to brace yourself? See the job.
I know, right? All right.
Dr. Jazz always starting off with some stuff. She's like, it's not gonna be that bad.
I appreciate that so much, though. And, so Dejarvis actually knows us quite well, and we met at UAB, and so I call him DJ because that's how we met. And so, that's just look at my smile. I'm just right. that was neat. That was right on time. That was right on time.
Yeah.
Especially for Black men, we don't really do it. So it's encouraging all my brothers out there, it's all right. It's good. It'll make you better, make you more productive for sure.
Yeah. Like Dejarvis knows, like you say, DJ, he knows all of us. His wife was my college roommate. His cousin is my best friend. Now we're sitting again through care. It's just all one big family. Life comes at you full circle. So, I mean, we're starting off all deep, and it's just beautiful. See growth. And now, we all, because whoever Jazz, automatically, you just come in and you family too. So it's just all one big family.
Literally, DJ just said that. He was like, now that I know you part of the crew.
Right. And then all of you all went through Tuskegee. That's wild right there.
See me right there?
I know.
I see you, Dr. Jazz.
But I want to jump in because Dejarvis, you said you want to say DJ or Dejarvis? I'm sorry.
Either's fine.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say DJ because I feel like you're my cousin. Fam in there.
We can do that.
So when you said therapy, I was like, oh my God, I was gonna say I'm starting a new therapist. Like, you can shop around, all that.
You should shop around.
Right, that best fits you and your needs and help you achieve your goals, like on your pace. So I got a new therapist. That's something new I'm trying, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling empowered, and I'm feeling a little bit more sane, y'all, because we all can be like all in our head. I know at least I can be so much. I'm like creating unrealistic realities. So therapy's got me here and excited about the path forward for sure.
Yay.
You try Lawyer Jazz? What you got going on?
You know, I won't say this therapy is not something new that I tried. I don't know if I've ever been transparent and say that to talk about therapy. I mean, we just kind of got on the train, but I will say for anybody who needs it, I think that is great. It's not something new that I tried like recently, but it was I think it's great. It's been helpful for me. I will agree with you, Jazz, that it keeps me sane. That the gym, working out, Jesus and my friends, you know, all of the things. So just to check in with everybody, whatever you need to keep you sane and to keep you moving and motivated, whether it's a friend to let you vent, you know, a prayer, whatever you need, I think that's necessary. So therapy isn't the newest thing that I've tried. I don't know because I'm picky with food, so I'm not gonna do that. Um, a new thing that I've tried, guys. I don't know. Come back to me. I just had to go out there and advocate for whoever's on the new healing journey. I don't know, Kara, have you tried something new?
You know I did. I'm out here living, baby.
I'm trying to think what new things I've done. I don't know. I mean, oof.
I constantly try to do new things. And one new thing that I did in celebration of my 30th birthday, we took a trip to Dominican Republic. It was my first time going there. And while we were there, we went ziplining in the rainforest. Shout out to my sister for like basically being like, we're gonna do something. And yeah, that was the new thing that I tried was zipline. I had never ziplined before, and it was amazing. It was like right after a rain. It was so great. And so like the vegetation was out. We got pictures of like us and the family, and it's like one of those memories that I'll keep, like I'll cherish.
Yeah.
What part of the DR?
We were in La Romana, which is like
Okay.
45 minutes from Putacana. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely ready to go back already.
Scotty and I went on a honeymoon, and Scotty's my wife, Scotty Michelle, and so we went on our honeymoon in Punta Cana, and I wanted to go off of the resort so bad and like do something like that, but you know, Jazz know your girl, she wasn't here for she wasn't here for that life.
I just know she hit you with a no.
She definitely hit me with a no. We did a couples massage, so that's what she wanted, so that's cool. But I'm gonna vicariously live through you, Carol.
Yes. Hey, anniversary, you know, maybe, you know.
You know, it'll be my turn. It'll be my turn.
Yeah, exactly. Hit a YOLO one time and there you go.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so
great big shout out to our music artist of the episode, Stephen Russell.
And then our visual artist is Sterling McQueen, and he is in Arizona via Alabama. So shout out to both of them. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this episode. Dejarvis, I know that you kind of gave a little spill about why you do this and why you decided to be in the financial field. But if you could just do another like quick introduction of like why this is like your self-interest is in financial literacy, especially for those in our community.
Yeah, that's a good question. So I spent the first half of being in the financial industry in banking. So I did that for about 5 years in Birmingham, but in the Fairfield, Midfield area, as well as I ventured out into Hoover, but mostly I was in like the Fairfield, Midfield, Bessemer area. And so some of the people in the community, the education around finances, right? There were some of them because Miles College is right in that area, right? So a lot of the people were highly educated people, but financial literacy was something that they didn't have, right? And so a lot of times I was doing a lot of damage control and repair. And I was like, what can I do to be able to get on the front end to be able to prevent them from getting into this space so that we're not always having to recover or having to repair, but we're able to actually have a firm foundation and propel and thrive, right? So it really bothered me. So I ended up shadowing a financial advisor that was working at Regions at the time because I was a banker. And I was like, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Fast forward, ended up in Atlanta, and the opportunity came up at Equitable, and so which is the firm that my practice is contracted through. So it just ended up working out. But and I love what I do. You know, I get to really connect with people, and see their vision come to fruition. That's a high that I can't describe. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it, and like you said, it's so needed that sometimes we'll have the degrees and we'll have a lot of things that are in our names, and we'll be out here living, and but then when you put it down on paper, it's not as great as it needs to be or great as it could be. So thanks to you, we're in this podcast. Hopefully, with this episode, we're going to give some tools that can make sure that we give money some longevity, and make sure that the money that we are spending or putting in the bank or something is doing more than just sitting there. Because that's what I like. I tell people all the time, I'm trying to make this money flip as much as I can. I'm flipping it at all times. Like I'm breaking it down at all times. Like I really need to go back and get a finance degree. That's how much I'd be thinking about it. And just so
Yeah.
yeah. So speaking of that, making money flip, can you explain to us what generational wealth is and why it's so important for to have generational wealth, and to say that it can start with us, it can start with our generation?
Yeah. So I have a few stats. So
come on now.
Let me get mine. I'm about to be like Dr. Jazz. Right.
Get that UAB education. Let's go.
You must know I pulled up the document. I'm like, hold up.
This is for me, okay? Hold on, let me get a pen, y'all. Y'all think I'm
You good. So I'll start with talking about the racial wealth gap, right?
Okay. Yes.
We know that all exists. And obviously we know why it exists. We won't, relitigate the history of our people in this country, right? But one of the I just wanted to give the impact of it. So speaking of why is it more important for our generation, stats show that only 23% of the Black community will end up with more wealth than their parents. Right? And so we're like, well, how is that the case? Like, we're more educated than the generation before us. We have more opportunities than the generation before us. Why is that the case? So 60% of wealth in the United States is inherited, but only 8% is inherited for Black families in the United States out of that 60%. Okay, and speaking to the wealth gap, on average, a Caucasian household or white household has 10 times more wealth than the average, African American or person of color's household, right? So we know why these things exist: redlining, slavery, I don't know. So we know why these things exist, but why do they persist?
Come on,
right?
Man.
So some of the things are us in the African American community, we like quick fixes, and we like things that are shiny, right? So like things that are high risk, or they have a great reward side, but we know the relation between risk and reward, right? So the higher the potential for reward, the riskier it will be, and the percentage for you to be able to obtain that is, the odds are not in our favor. And that's not what our counterparts, our white counterparts, are doing, right? What they're doing is they're putting family planning in place to be able to find ways to build an inheritance for the next generation. So if we can kind of get back to basics, I would say, and try to really figure out, okay, what do I want my legacy to be, and how am I able to input that? What are the steps for me to be able to do that now? If I'm being clear in that.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I remind my friends all the time that in 30 years, I want to be retired on the beach with them.
Right.
So how are we gonna make that? Because I'm not paying for nobody plane ticket, and I'm not gonna be handing you tissues either because you can't make it. I will pay for somebody plane ticket. I will do that. But
Right.
y'all see what I'm saying? Like I want us to all be in that position, and so all wealth and knowledge that I'm getting from people like Dejarvis, I'm trying to make sure that all my friends know it, and then also that I'm planning for children I don't have yet, which is crazy. I know that like that is crazy, but I want to set it up because my parents have worked way too hard for
Right.
then me not to keep on with this positive input. So I gotta keep it. I'm making Florence and James Woods money flip. Like not Janet and
Is it,
Daryl, Florence. I'm saying not Janet and Daryl, Florence and James. I'm flipping, grandparents' money because that's how important it is to me.
and that's how it's supposed to be, right? But a lot of the things that block us are, um, our community is more, settled with student loan debt, right? So like
Mhm.
Yeah.
finding ways, right? So finding ways to, okay, how can I still invest? Because what is the thing that we'll never get back? Time.
Time.
Yeah, I forgot I'm on mute. I've been typing away.
Time, yeah, time is a commodity that we won't get back. So the sooner you're able to invest, the better, right? So the person who starts their retirement planning at 20 won't have to work as hard as somebody who starts at 30, who won't have to work as hard as somebody who starts at 40, right? We always feel like I feel like a lot of interactions that I've had that we feel like we have to have things done in sync, in step, right? Whereas there can be a plan to be able to do all of these things simultaneously, so that you're able to think about the future, take care of the right now, but just making sure that you have somebody that's partnering with you who's educated. Because like think about it, we go to the doctor because he's an expert on our body. We go to lawyer Jazz, because she's an expert at law, right? So we do we do all of these things, to make sure that we're connecting with experts, except for with our money.
Tell
If
the
it's
truth
as
now.
important as we say it is,
Mhm.
you know.
So I know we speak on, building the generational wealth and making our money, work for us. And, so we think about the long term end goals. But I know we live it, and I know we were talking about not too long ago, like we like quick fixes, especially in our community. But I don't think we really know the best ways to make our money work for us. So, what are some ways that we can flip our money? How do we really go about doing it? Is it the high yield savings account? Is it just putting that money to the side in a sock? Like what are the best ways? Because you hear so many things. Our grandparents didn't really believe in banks. So
Right.
what are the best ways that we can go about flipping our money and making it work for us? Maybe it's a fast way, maybe it's going to be the long term goal, but what are some short term and long term ways to flip our money?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I would say, it's a both and, right? So you have three buckets essentially. You have your short term, your midterm, and your long term, right?
Okay.
And they actually coincide with taxation, believe it or not, right? So if you're thinking about ways for you to create generational wealth, it's not really, I mean, yes, you need income, right? But it's not really how much you make, but it's really how much you keep. All right.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna plug the book. I know Kara's read it and she's plugged it before, but if you haven't read it yet from the last podcast that she plugged it in, make sure that you check out The Power of Zero by David McKnight. He gets into how you can get to the zero tax bracket, which is where you want to be, because we are in the lowest tax environment that we've ever been in, ever in this country. Okay. Right. So I don't know exactly what the government debt is right now, but I believe it's in the trillions,
Yes,
right?
sir.
All right. So if our country is going to have to pay that back, where are they going to get that money from? Right. So the best way for you to be able to build generational wealth and to build long-term sustainable wealth is to find ways to be able to find out how am I able to keep as much of my money as possible, right? So that's kind of that midterm goal, right? That's money that we won't really touch for 10 to 15 years, right? So you can either do that in, Roth IRAs or a plethora of other different vehicles, right? Short-term money is that money that's more liquid, is more susceptible to taxation, but you can do that in, mutual funds, ETFs, um, high yielding savings accounts. So that's really where you want your short-term money to be. All right. And then our long-term money, that's our money that's 59 and a half, where we can get some tax deferred growth, which means the money goes in tax-free. You don't pay any capital gains tax. So that means that your money is compounding upon each other without being taxed. And then at the end, you're going to get tax ordinary income at the end. But hopefully you'll be in a lower tax bracket at that time because you'll be in retirement. So that's money that you can't touch until 59 and a half. That's our long-term money. That's our long money, right? So that's going to be like your 401ks, your if you're in a business on a SEP IRA, things of that nature. If you work for a nonprofit or education institution, that would be a 403B plan. All of those things are an IRA, a traditional IRA, right? So those are all of the things that are going to be your long-term money. So it's really finding the best mix, right? I feel like we like to put all of our money. I'm about to do this day trading on Robinhood. I'm about to buy this Bitcoin, and I'm gonna be a millionaire next week. All right, bro. Let me know.
Holla
at me. Teach me. So and I'm not against that at all. Let me be clear. I love Robinhood and how it has made investing super accessible, right? But we just have to make sure that we're using wisdom, right? When we're doing all of these things, right? We don't want the money that we're earmarking for retirement, put that in this highly risk, this investment that's susceptible to high risk, right? That's not really something we want to do.
That makes sense.
DJ, I'm sorry, Jazz, did you have?
No, go ahead.
I just want to bring up an unpopular opinion, especially in our community, which is life insurance and death benefits, but using those in a way that it creates generational wealth or even wealth for you as you're still living. In my day job, I work with a lot of people who don't write wills, or their ancestors didn't write wills, and it creates such a problem of just vulnerability with land, with finances. And it's something that like nobody really likes to talk about their death and who gets what and who doesn't get what. But making sure that you have an estate plan, making sure that you have a prorated will, making sure that you have benefits and you have those people named at the event of your death is one of those things that is really limiting our generational wealth in our community. And so I wanted to know if you could speak on that a little bit, of how important life insurance can be when you are trying to generate money for an asset.
Yeah, that's a great question. You kind of I mean, Kara on it, y'all. She on it.
I've been
all of those things.
All I can say.
Yeah. All of those things that she mentioned are vital, and are the reason why we're only 8% of that 60%, right? That is inheriting money, right? It's because, like she said, we don't want to talk about our death. We don't want to sit down with an estate attorney because we don't really want to pay that estate attorney to do the good work that they're doing, right? But it's worth it, right? To put those trusts in place, right? To put those life insurances in place, not just for the people that are after you, but for you, right? But so then make sure that your wishes are carried out. But also speaking specifically to life insurance, what a lot of people don't really know, has a two-part, right? It can be used for creating generational wealth by, when you pass, you're able to leave this money. And if you put that insurance in a trust, you can tell them how you want that money to be used, right? So that you can make sure that it fulfills the purpose that you want it to. Which is one use of it, but another use of it is a tax shelter. All right. So a lot of people are not familiar with, but if you want to sound, super impressive at a dinner party, you can say IRS Rule 7702. All right. So it's going to be IRS Rule 7702, which allows for a loophole in the tax code, a legal loophole in the tax code. All right. So what it allows you to do is be able to house the same type of accounts that you would see in a Roth IRA or a mutual fund inside a life insurance contract. Why is that important? Because proceeds from a life insurance contract are not taxed. They're tax exempt. You don't pay taxes on capital gains. You don't pay. Kara's excited because she don't like paying Uncle Sam. I don't either. So you don't pay taxes on capital gains. You don't pay taxes on when you pull it out, right? And how that works is.
Hold on, I want to pause right there. You say you don't pay taxes when you pull it out. You mean pulling out during your own life while you're still alive? This is your own life insurance policy. Correct. I just want to make sure that everybody understood that point. Okay. Sorry.
Because this is the stuff they don't teach you. This is the stuff that they don't want you to know. And then you wonder how so-and-so got a brand new car or a brand new house and they ain't got no mortgage and stuff. And it's like, because they out here doing it, y'all.
Yeah, for sure. And so how it works is, so, with the Roth IRA, there is stipulations with that, right? Because that is also a tax exempt vehicle. But if you make over, I believe it's 130 right now. If you make over 130, you're not able to participate. And if you and you can't contribute more than $6,000 a year, I believe currently. All right. So for some people who want to be able to put more money away, right, who are doing good in their job, they're above that income, so they can't participate in the Roth IRA, but they want to be able to still shelter from taxation. This is that's a perfect vehicle for them because there's no cap for how much you can put in. All right. And then there is also with the Roth IRA, you can't touch that money to 59 and a half. There is no stipulation on when you can touch this money. All right. So it's flexibility as well as you're getting tax-free growth, which allows you to have more power because the eighth wonder of the world is compound interest. So you got compound interest without taxation.
Man, this man is spitting, y'all. I'm just saying, y'all.
It's a double win.
I see Dr. Jazz typing notes.
It's all through. Right here.
I'm definitely going to do a recap when we get on the resources. This is gold. Thank you, DJ.
Some y'all need to know that they don't tell us.
Look, like I said, we are gonna be on the beach. We are gonna have our little shades on. This is what we're trying to do because, like I said, so many people have sacrificed for us to get to where we are. We have to use that. And then, like I said, there's no limit on how many life insurance policies that you can have. And so it's kind of like, have a life insurance policy for your grandchildren. Have a life insurance policy for yourself. Have a life insurance policy for your neighbor if you like. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on now, somebody. These are diamonds that DJ is throwing at you.
Yeah. And I can send you guys some of the reference points for these stats, but 80% of the African American community say that they want to participate in life insurance, but only 6% actually do.
Yeah.
Right.
6 or 60.
6%.
Yeah, I've worked at a few.
So 80% say that they do, but only 6% do. And so what that means is it's just I feel like there is an information gap, right? Because we're not about to really do anything that we don't really understand because we've been messed over so much. I get it. We have trauma. I get it. But really do your research and find someone that you can really trust to really educate you around your options.
What? I'm
Holistic
sorry.
underscore life planner at on Instagram. Reach out
Oh,
to
we're
me.
gonna plug you. We're definitely gonna plug you. Dr. Jazz, you were saying something?
Oh, I was just saying that I've worked in a funeral home and the difficulties of families paying
Mm-hmm.
for arrangements
Yep.
is heartbreaking, and it's not something that you never want to leave your family to deal with in the height of their grief. So not to mention the bills and the things that don't go when you die, like student loans, or it's just like things still stick around. And it's very interesting to see the like vast percent of people who did not have any type of life insurance. And doing suppers and GoFundMes, and when you know what a supper is at this point.
Yep. Hey, you got something on the funeral? Like, it's
And
that.
see that, and that's when the devil shows up, because the devil always show up in time of death. Is because we're leaving stuff that is so hectic and so stressful that there's nothing but to say, I'm going to start, getting my claws out on these people I love. And so we start creating that position where it's not hectic. It's already done. Like you said, you can put it in a trust, so you can say, from this is exactly how I want it. It creates a space where we can just heal.
Yeah,
And,
absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you so much
Well
for sharing
said.
it.
Absolutely.
No problem.
Oh, man.
So we are going to take a quick break.
Yes.
Listen to some music.
Hey guys, and we are back. Hey, loving the combo, DJ. Thank you so much, and shout out to our great artists. Okay, and if you're watching on YouTube, you saw Sterling's art. We are just loving all the love from our artists and from our guests. This has been amazing conversation. We just have a couple more questions for you, just to keep giving the people all this good advice. I mean, I'm just soaking it up, taking all the notes.
Yeah.
But we were just mentioning about the difficulties of leaving your loved ones in places, without funds to take care of yourself. So in the meantime, I know I've been in the process, at least, of trying to build a nest egg, a safety fund, rainy day fund, whatever you want to call it. But if you don't mind telling people, like, what's the safest and or easiest way you're thinking to build a fund, and how do you stay committed to those goals?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say one of the ways to save, I would say, is to set it and forget it. Out of sight, out of mind. All right. Put your auto draft is a bill, and it's a bill. Paying yourself is a bill. Right. All right. So putting it on auto draft, and starting with something. Everybody's like, well, all I can do is $5 a month. 5 times 12 is 60. All right. You do that for a little while, and you continuously increase that, year over year. It just start. All right. So one vehicle I would say is, or one company is Ally Bank. It's an online bank, so you can find some online banks that will provide you a little bit more interest rate than some of your traditional banks, or even a credit union, right? So those are some great ways to have that liquid savings, right? And you typically want to have 6 to 12 months, right? So if you lose a job, or you want to make a transition, because having that 6 to 12 months kind of empowers you to be able to say, you know, if I want to leave this job today,
Peace out.
I'm good. Right.
All right
It
now.
gives you flexibility and power. Right. And we're all about empowering ourselves at the end of the day. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the second half of that question, remind me, Dr. Jazz.
Yeah, so I know I'm trying to work on this 6 to 12 months, and I see the money growing, but how do I stay committed to it? The goals, like
Accountability partners.
ooh,
Accountability partners. If you have other people that are reaching for the same goal as you, it's very helpful, right? So, you know, either that's your financial advisor or your good girlfriends, you all may start a, you know, hey, we want to hit this goal together, right? It really fuels you to want to do it. So accountability is key.
I gotta hold myself accountable. Maybe checking in with my partner about that, my fiance. That might be good.
Yeah. Scotty, look, let me tell you something. Scotty holds me.
She holding it out.
Look, Jazz, I'm trying to tell you, Jazz, though.
Oh, I need to take a page out of Scotty book because I be spending, you know.
Oh Lord, Jazz.
I be saving, though. I be saving, but it's like I could save more. You know, you always feel like you could save more. So thank you for that, DJ.
By having a clear cut, I'm sorry, but having a clear cut plan of every single penny, right? Because then it makes sense. Like money's emotional, right? So you have to put something, some type of something that really resonates with you. Why do you want to save this money, right? What is the end goal? What are we trying to build? And that really helps you as well.
And I don't plan every penny. I'd be like, that's discretionary. Okay. All right, I got you. I feel like you call, you know how will you be in church and the pastor be speaking? I'm like, I feel so seen. What is going on? DJ, I am touched by this one. Okay. So anyway, we go.
And I'm saying, and I would say to give yourself grace too, because I know I've done that. And then like, I'll be like, okay, I'm over this budget this month. But the fact that I can even say that means that I'm doing good. To say that like I'm over my eating out budget. That means I have an eating out budget and I know how much it is and how much I'm over it. So like that's definitely something where I'm having to be like, oh, this month, Carrie, you should be ashamed of yourself. And knowing that next month is gonna be different.
Gotta do better.
And life is not a straight line. Life is not a straight line. Life happens. So like she said, like give yourself grace, but at the same time, always come back to the plan. You know, have a home that you can come back to when you do have to stray away for whatever purpose. It might be a legitimate reason, you know.
Not going off too far. Okay, I'm feeling all this, y'all.
I'm telling you.
Oh,
I needed it.
I know, right? And I hope somebody that's listening needed it. If not, share it with somebody who you think might, you know, benefit from listening it. Yeah, so we got one more question for you, DJ. I'm trying to think about a myth that people say all the time, just like a financial myth that you feel just needs to be forgotten forever. Like I'm trying to think of one to like give an example, but I don't really hold too true to myths. So let me know if you've been hearing things in your profession that people think and are assuming, you know.
This is gonna be so unpopular.
Popular opinion. Give it some.
Let me listen.
This is gonna be so unpopular. So, real estate. Let's talk about it. So it is not the only. Okay, it's not the only way to build generational wealth. Yes, I love you know, grandparents always say, you know, make sure you buy land because, you know, God's not making any more of it. I totally agree. Land, that is very true, but it is not the only way for you to build generational wealth. I find that a lot of my clients like to put all their eggs in that basket or majority of their eggs in that basket. And like I said before, we're not having a good mix, right? Because that real estate kind of falls into, well, not kind of falls into that taxable bucket, where as you know, you're getting taxed on your earnings, you're getting taxed on you know, any growth that you might have when it comes to like property tax and things of that nature. So just realize that it is a high risk environment, and yes, that is something that we should be doing, is purchasing a home. Okay, and don't hear me say that buying a home is not important. That is very important. It's one of the greatest ways to pass down generational wealth for sure. But um, real estate is not the only. It is not the end all be all. And I find that a lot of my clients are so not a lot of them, but a few of my clients are so stuck on that they can't really see all of these other ways that they can really make their money work for them because they're holding on to this so tightly.
Okay.
I
respect it.
I heard a hush.
No, that was a good one. I was thinking of another myth. Simply, because I was thinking earlier when we were asking how to flip money, I was like, oh, he didn't say real estate. As I'm into looking for land and a house and all of the above, it is a big investment and one that sucks up all your money and all your credibility or debt to income ratio. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Oh my God.
But what about that myth? So, go ahead.
And so if real estate is something you do want to jump into, I just say make sure that you're very strategic about your planning, okay? Because it can be profitable, but we just want to be super strategic and wise. That's all I'm saying. We want to be good stewards. We want to be wise, and we want to be strategic about what we're doing. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you. I was thinking about this, Kara, with people that I've been hearing. They don't want to do the life insurance planning because they planning to die. Then, what about that? DJ, you hear that in your space, any?
Say that again.
If they're planning, like if they do life insurance, I mean they planning to die. It's like kind of taboo,
Yeah. I have heard that for sure, and I don't think they realize that it is something that you can use while you're living. So you want to make sure that you're living, because your legacy is important. For me in my faith, with an eternity mindset. So I'm thinking about, okay, my son he's a Dejarvis III, but we call him Trey. So I'm thinking about Trey's kids. Okay, so the impact that I'm making right now, what I'm doing right now, I want it to be set up in a way to where it makes an impact on my great grandkids, right? And I think if we live life in that way, it would be super huge for our community. So I would say think about it that way, and as well as there's ways for you to use it while you're still here as well. So.
And the peace of mind it gives you kind of gives off, lets off a little stress knowing that, whenever it is time, it's going to be already set and ready.
Right.
They
and
always
the family
say,
will be taking care of the people you love.
Right. They always say the two things you can make sure of is death and taxes. So it's like, take care of them. Take care of them both. Make sure that your money is tax deferred. Make sure that when in your death, people are going to actually not be cursing you out and saying, how come Kara didn't write no will and make sure, and then do this and do. Nah, that you might be cussing me out for something else, but it ain't going to be that I didn't, put money aside and make sure that my issues that I created on earth hopefully will be able to wash away when I am gone.
Absolutely.
For sure.
But well, I think that it is time for my favorite part.
My favorite part.
All right, guys.
Today in Black History.
Right. Today in Black History, Kara's favorite part of the show. Besides seeing all of our beautiful faces if you're watching on YouTube. But Kara's favorite part of the show is Today in Black History. And today is March 22nd. And today, on March 22nd in 1873, slavery was actually abolished in Puerto Rico. So that is a little known Black history fact. I actually did not know that. I was doing some research for this episode. So on March 22nd of 1873, slavery was actually abolished in Puerto Rico. So there's a little Black history fact for the day. So yeah. And it was abolished by the Spanish National Assembly. So yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Shout out to our Puerto Rican brothers and sisters.
Yes. There we go.
Indigenous people.
Right.
Yes. Okay. So Yeah, we do have some resources. I feel like, of course, this whole episode was full of resources. Dejarvis DJ is a resource in himself, but y'all also know that I kind of have an affiliation with making sure my money flips. Um, just a slight one, just a slight one. So I have a couple of resources, and the first one actually came from my friend Sierra Burke. The New York Times came out with a 20-day money challenge, and so you can sign up for it. They send you emails every day, and it just goes. It gives you a reminder to do stuff that DJ was just talking about. So whether it's creating a high yield, whether it's writing down your spending, whether it's creating a separate savings account so you can't touch it, it's a 20-day challenge. They email you, and then you're supposed to do it. And I'll be honest with you, I got to like day 11, and I didn't keep doing it. And so this is a reminder for myself that I need to get back on it. But shout out to Sierra, because she was like, "Hey sis, like I said, we finna be drinking Mai Tais together. So make sure that your people at least have these resources and are aware that you don't have to spend money getting resources. You don't have to spend money getting education. It's there. And I know DJ does several webinars on behalf of himself and his brand to help with that. The second resource that I would say is Credit Karma. Y'all also know that I've said that I will not marry someone unless I know their credit situation. And maybe that's why Kara is not married, but hey. So,
oh my goodness.
The facts are the facts. You would not bring down my credit score. So get in tune with Credit Karma. Know your credit score. Know what affects your credit score. Like, I talked to my sister the other day. I said, we finna get this up 30 points. She was like, you think you can?
I have a about that. While we're on Credit Karma and we have our financial advisor here, DJ, how accurate is Credit Karma versus going because when I think I was either buying my car or a house at some point, and I went to the credit union and had them pull my credit report. Credit Karma versus actually getting the credit union and the credit bureau report. How accurate, boom, boom. Like, is it pretty accurate? Is it spot on? Should we keep? Because I was using Credit Karma. It's free.
Question.
It's a great resource. I'm putting my banking hat on. So it only gives you 2 of the 3 credit bureaus. It doesn't give you Experian. It gives you, I believe, Equifax and TransUnion. And so it's a great way to keep track on 2 of those credit bureau reports of what's on there, right? Okay. So it's accurate about what's on there. The score is pretty close, but sometimes it can be a little off because it's not the actual credit bureau.
Got
right? Another way for you to check it, but you have to pay. I believe you can check all 3 credit scores via TransUnion has a way to do it, and I believe Experian does as well. They have a way for you to check all 3 credit bureaus. Those seem to be, to me, seem to be a little bit closer because they come specifically from the credit bureau.
Okay.
And checking your own credit score does not. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're right. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say checking your own credit score does not hurt your credit. I know a lot of people think that that's a myth. That's a common myth. So,
boom.
And I know through my bank, I get to check my credit score once a year for free. And nice. So that's another way. If you know that, like you say, you're making a big purchase, a home, a car, something like that, that's another resource that you can do it for free. That will not hinder your credit score.
Yeah.
Right.
And you can get your report. They won't give you the score, but you can get your report at freecreditreport.com. The 3 credit bureaus have to give you your report at least once a year for free. So they do it via that. And then I believe during COVID, they were allowing you to pull it as much as you want, I believe. I don't know if that's still going on though.
Look at all these resources.
Baby, I tell you. But like I said, no. A lot of people be like, I ain't finna pay that. Okay. That's how I feel. Okay. DJ, do you have another for the people?
Yeah. So I know I mentioned it before, but Crown Financial has like a small group study that I really like that me and my wife and a group of friends did. I know people love Dave Ramsey. I'm not against Dave Ramsey. He has some great tools. I just prefer Crown. To me, it's a little bit more accurate in line with still the Christian principles, but more in line with real financial planning. I didn't mean to say it like that, Dave, but it is what it is.
Okay, no shade, no shade. And then you had your book, The Power of Zero by Dave McKnight.
It's a quick
Not
read,
your book,
y'all.
but the book.
Yeah, by Dave McReed. I'm sorry, Dave McKnight. It's really a game changer. I give it to all my clients just about. Kara already had it, so.
Perfect.
And I think our first meeting, I was like, yeah, I have this book, and if we go to page 37, I have a question about this.
I was like, all right, but let me get my reference.
Let me get my copy out.
We having Bible study.
Okay, yeah, basically. If you ain't woke up this morning, wake up. Like that's me. Funny. Yes. So please, and we plug our artists, we plug our guests. Please, all these great resources, this knowledge that you gave, how can the people reach you and reach what you have created to help the community?
For sure.
DJ.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
How can we
how can we reach you, and how can they find you to get access to you, honestly, if they wanted to get some financial planning, some financial advice, and honestly, just to
life insurance.
Yes. There we go. All of this great knowledge that you dropped. Of course, we're gonna share it, and we're gonna, keep talking about it. But if people wanted to reach you, how can we find you outside of this podcast?
My bad, I totally missed that, Kara. I apologize. So you can reach me directly at Dejarvis, DEJARV as in Victor IS .Leonard LEONARD at equitable.com. All right. And then also you can my Instagram is holistic_life planner. All right. I'm also on LinkedIn, so you can reach me that way. Just search my name, Dejarvis Leonard. I'm the only one up there. So those are the best those are the best ways to reach me. Also, Kara has my information, so if you want to hit her up, she'll share my contact with you as well.
I sure will. And y'all know that we like I said, we promote our artists, we promote our guests, so there's gonna be an IG post with all that on there. But hopefully you were taking notes anyway. You had a pen and pad.
Rewind.
Because this is one of those episodes where we're definitely educating. We like to educate, promote, and uplift, and we're trying to do all three on this episode: uplifting the community, educating the community, and promoting great people like Dejarvis. Before we leave, y'all know we have to give some time to our charity of the month. It is March, and so 10% of all merch will go to our charity of the month, which is.
The charity for this month is going to be the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence. If you know me and what I do for a living, I'm all about child abuse awareness, domestic violence awareness, all of that. So March is not Domestic Violence Awareness Month, but each month for me, I try to bring awareness to that cause, and our children. So this month, 10% of our proceeds will be donated to the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence. And their mission is to lead, mobilize, and raise voices to support and demand change for the conditions that lead to domestic violence. And some of these conditions are patriarchy, racism, sexism, and classism. And they do a lot of great work with victims of domestic violence. They also host a lot of webinars, seminars, to educate lawyers and other activists in the community. So they do a lot of great work in addition to helping women and men who can be victims of domestic violence. So they're a great national organization that do a lot of great work and help a lot of victims. So I love charities and organizations like this. So that is our charity for the month of March.
So get your merch, get your Audacity merch. So we can do a twofold. And then follow us because we're cool.
Yes, you guys already know to follow with Audacity on every streaming platform that is out there. And you also can follow us on YouTube too. I think sometimes I forget to say that, but you can always watch us on YouTube. That's what my mama watches. But follow with Audacity across the board. You can also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at With Audacity. And you can also follow us personally on Instagram. I am You Love Jazz. YOULOV3_jazz. You can follow Kara at FlipsPro. You're going to flip it. Oh, see, there we go. Okay. And then our New Orleans shawty, Dr. Jazz at Magnolia Soldier. You going to spell it for us, Jazz? I just like to hear you talk.
SOULJA__. There we go.
There we go.
And then follow.
Tell them where they can follow you one more time.
Yeah, so that's holistic_life planner. That is on Instagram.
Yes. So we dropped so many gems this episode. We actually took notes and we will share some of these tidbits when we post about the episode. You guys, this is something that our community does not talk about enough. Financial planning, financial literacy, life insurance, all of that. So thank you again, Dejarvis, for joining us and educating the community, doing everything you're doing just to spread this knowledge in the community, because we definitely don't talk about it enough, and we don't have enough young people educating and talking about it enough. So thank you. I needed this. I feel seen. I was just on the phone with Carrie yesterday. And I had a whole moment. So you know what? This was for me. I feel seen. I'm about to be quiet because the episode is over. But thank you.
Yeah,
thank
and just I just wanted to say next year I'll be putting on my Instagram a lot of different events that we have. Wine, Women, and Wealth, Black Financial Empowerment, Business of Medicine. So all of these are resources tailored to different groups. So be on the lookout for that so we can make sure we're educating the masses.
Yeah, we love to see it. We love it. So you guys make sure you go and follow Dejarvis. We all getting our financial goals together. We getting it together. So that's it for this episode. And y'all know we will be back soon. Thank you again, Dejarvis. We appreciate you.
All
right, guys, we out of here. We out this thing, man.
Peace, love, and
bye, baby.
Bye.
one's listening and watching you now.
Oh my God. Is this thing on?
Is this thing on?